Hello there. How's it going? Welcome to PlanetSide 2. My name is Gold Vision, and as you might be able to tell, I'm addicted to peace. But that doesn't mean I can't play a game like PlanetSide 2. That doesn't mean that I could come to Amarish and can't find anything to do. It's actually a pretty beautiful game with a lot of opportunity, a lot of people to meet, a lot of good times to share, and I'm excited to share this game with the world in real time and share my peace with them. Now, it's definitely a war game in theory, and as you can see, we've got 26 minutes left of this war. There's a continent control battle, and it looks like the VS, the Vanu Sovereignty, are doing alright. So I'm going to do my due diligence just by being present, honestly, is a big part of any kind of peace seeking. Being around and choosing to be in the conflicted world and choosing to be a peaceful person is a beautiful opportunity. I've got some hotkeys set, F8, or I'm sorry, F10 and F11. We'll turn off the user interface. And turn off my weapon. And right now I just wanted to go for a little fly. A nice little peaceful fly. It's a big expansive world. There's actually several continents that players can participate on. And if you're in a position like I am right now, where your team has taken over a lot of the world, there's a lot of safe territory. Relatively safe. I mean, it's still all conflicted. The continent's not captured yet. But there's plenty of places to go and areas to explore and just bear witness to, scenery to view, an opportunity to think and unwind, maybe after a long day. Being present on this team, even though I'm not necessarily going after anybody right now, still an opportunity to not be an enemy to anyone on my team. Increasing the ratio of players that are on our team and that presence on the map. Speaking of the map, we can do a little flyby. I've got a player created base down here. A much more conflicted area here. And as you can see on the radar, there's a Firehound X galaxy in the sky nearby. I'm trying not to fight anyone personally, as you might know, and just enjoy my time here. There's a there's a concern that this game might not be peaceful enough, and that's fair. It's a combat simulator, a futuristic one at that. And while I'm gonna park my scythe here, which is my Empire-specific flyer, and take a quick second to duck inside and explain what I wanted to in this quick presentation about PlanetSide 2 and how I'm managing my peace addiction while I live in that world. There's a lot of things you can do that are peaceful. You can fly around peacefully, like I was. You can be a medic and heal the people on your team. You can be an engineer and repair the various soldiers that have armor, the max soldiers, as well as terminals in bases or generators that support walls. There's the Sunderer, the mobile respawn point that you can drive around and bring people to different places in the world. And you can also become a combat photographer when you hide the user interface in the weapon. The only other thing I wanted to say is that good peace seeking includes not dying, not putting yourself in positions where you unfortunately have to deal with that kind of conflict. But that's all aspirational. And that's the biggest part of the peace seeking, peace addiction that I'm experiencing, is this aspiration to continue. It's not always completely possible, and I'm not going to jump into this hot bed here because I believe there's a lot of conflict there, and I do wish my team well. I think that there's a lot of people who are trying to resolve the conflict there on their own, and a lot of people choose to engage in the world that way. That's one of the natures of our free will, our freedom to choose, and our freedom of choice. I shouldn't go this way. I should make a plan to head up the coast and over here to the Kati Amp Station. By coast I meant border. The border of territories here. And it looks like the sun has come up and we now have like a beautiful day. I'm currently outfitted with the medic tool and medic device. So my particular character is configured to heal other players. So I think I'm going to grab a mobile spawn vehicle up here at the amp station and bring it over to the conflicted area as I try to resolve things in my own way. Now these bases are massive. I lost that vehicle, but it was kind of my aspiration. Once I pull out a Sunderer, I will lose the scythe naturally. So I'd rather destroy it on my own than have an enemy destroy it and benefit from that. And we can use either vehicle terminal here. This one's closer to the direction that I want to go. If you're unfamiliar with amp stations, they're kind of spaced out like a pentagon. And this one is connected to the West Pass base, and the fortress and the mountain complex, all with the Quati namesake. They're related, but the amp station has more robust services like the vehicle terminals and the walls and the air terminals that aren't necessarily available at other bases. I'm gonna grab a Sunderer and see if I can disable these weapons. I don't think I can just take them off completely, but I can choose not to use them. That's another conflict with the PlanetSide game, is that no matter what, you're always carrying around guns. The best that I've found to do is to be a... Oh no, there's some conflict I'm about to embrace. Is to be a cloaking soldier. Wow, there's a lot of conflict here. Not that conflict's surprising, but it's kind of against what I'm aspiring to do right now, obviously. And as you can see, there's some turrets around here that have been stolen. Those red ones, which maybe I can do something about if I do end up having to come back to this base. There's no good way over there, and they are coming for me, I think. So, with the mobile spawn point, you can turn it invisible and park it somewhere. And you can look around at the world that exists. And when you're cloaked underneath it, it's pretty hard to see from above. Especially when you're not parked in a place that other players are seeking, or through which traffic is being sought. It looks like there's a galaxy here that's repairing, or perhaps invading our base. And I'm going to leave that to the players who are choosing conflict, because I honestly do believe that's probably literally everybody else in the game right now. That doesn't mean I can't explore it on my own. Well, that's unfortunate. That was the destruction of that galaxy, but I should probably get in, get out. Just in case there were people who were seeking this vehicle of mine. I'm gonna come up the south and try to move in. I also traditionally would join a squad or platoon right now. But right now I've turned off the audio because it's kind of late in the night and I just wanted to do a relaxing stream and enjoy this world in spite of the conflicts present. There was one very, very significant detail I wanted to share, and that's by being in a conflicted place and choosing to be there, you actually are given the opportunity to choose peace. If you pick a game where you can't impact anyone else in any way, then you're not really choosing peace. You're just existing. But when you have weapons and you have armor and you have the opportunity to attack other people and you choose not to, that choice is what peace really is for me in conflicted areas like this. Now I wanted to, I don't know if you've seen some of my combat documentation videos, but they're actually very they're enjoyable to make because they get to appreciate the aesthetics of this game. And there's a lot going on in them. And a lot to see. And traditionally this game has been considered somewhat confusing to traditional players because it's not necessarily the most straightforward of fighting games or world combat games, because there's just a lot of different things to do and a lot of different battles going on. And I do think this is a great opportunity to go and examine players and watch the world and watch the conflicts unfold and report on them as they do. And that's something that I enjoy doing as a player in general. And it's a fun thing to do in a peaceful way, like I am right now. Right now, to be more specific, we are outside the TR base, the Terran Republic base of the Quanti West Pass. And it looks like the VS hasn't really moved in too much, and actually it looks like we're losing the amp station. Although there seems to be a lot of people present there. And I've placed a Sunderer here, a mobile spawn point, where players will be able to come from and then come to this base and resolve the conflict and conquer it should the opportunity come up, should this base be finished up. It looks like the VS has taken it back. You can see the progress bar on top and the progress bar on the side that is expanding to indicate that the players here have controlled all the points in such a way that they're moving what's called the tug of war bar in a direction that favors the VS. You can see the population chart down there too, where there's more VS soldiers than TR. And normally when you have a 3-to-1 ratio like that, you're going to resolve the conflict rather quickly. And that's the kind of perspective that you have to take into every battle. It's not so much who won this fight, but how many people are there right now, and how many people are over here, and how many people are in the different parts of the world, and what conflicts are resolving, and what's going to happen next. And that's the kind of joyful, advanced battle planning that really lets PlanetSide shine. I'm just going to patiently observe in a meditative way. Even with the conflict in the background, I think it's important to be able to find one's center and focus on who one is and who you are in spite of conflict. And I'm going to take a second to do that right now. There's a question if this is PlanetSide 2 live, and it's been an aspiration of mine to show this game live for a long time. I've done it a couple times, I think, but it's difficult because it's not incredibly predictable. It's actually the opposite, and so you never know what's going to happen. You can't really plan for what's going to happen next. There's a lot going on, and when you jump into the game, you just have to figure out where you are, figure out where everyone else is, and figure out what's happening. And sometimes it's very controlled, and sometimes it's completely out of control. Right now it seems relatively in control, at risk of embarrassing myself. We can see our friendly troops here congregating in the base, taking over the wall, the west wall. My Sunderer might be too far for a lot of them, and they also might all be squatted up in a platoon that is keeping them there. And actually the various starbursts are indicating that there's plenty to be done there. And maybe I'll head back, keep the Sunderer here. It actually has a tendency to decrease. I just noticed the population increased to half and half for a second. So maybe I actually need to be more of a reinforcement over here. But it jumped back down, so I think we're going to be okay. You can see my Sunderer has 13 minutes. Oof. Well, 13 minutes left on its lifetime before it goes away. And right now I'm in what's called the Stalker cloaking. So I have temporary cloaking abilities that they go away. They're in the bottom right of the screen. And they go away slowly when I move, quickly when I run, and then they refill when I stay in position. And I can stay stationary indefinitely, with the biggest disadvantage that I can't carry a primary weapon, which, if you know about my peace addiction, it's not that big of a deal to not carry a primary weapon. You might have noticed that I just got just somebody spawned at my Sunderer. Just one player moving up there on the map. And that's probably a sign of success over here. Yeah. Looks like things are coming up. There was a question earlier about PlanetSide Arena, and the introduction of PlanetSide Arena actually has kind of inspired me to look more into look more into PlanetSide 2, which I've always liked. It's always been my favorite game. I just play it so differently that I don't want to detract from the competitive nature of online games. Even though this is a perfect place to do it. So my Sunderer is parked pretty far back, just because typically when you reinforce a base, you want to pull in reinforcements as close to your base as you need to be, and then slowly move in. Slowly plant Sunderers here and here. And as you can see, we've taken over this conflicted point. This base only has one, and you can see the progress bar, the tug of war bar on the left side of the screen. This guy's looking for a Sunderer. He's actively trying to destroy it, so that way our players can't get back into the space. And looks like we've got some problems. Let's go see what's happening here. We just lost the point. But back to PlanetSide Arena. I'm excited to see what that game has to offer. Oh, that's not good.
Failure is not the path of enlightenment.
It's possible I was seen. This is an enemy Sunderer. I've been seen. And I've been chased down. That little window of time, veteran players are very keen-eyed. And that's why I've brought my mobile spawn point to come back to life. PlanetSide 2 is not really about just defeating people. Just attacking people. Because it doesn't do anything permanently to them. Which creates all kinds of philosophical and metagame problems. We're no longer just trying to win a war by beating everybody. We have to think better than them. And move better than them. And compete better than them. Rather than just eliminating them from the game. And that makes it more complicated and harder to learn, especially because your opponents keep getting smarter and keep getting better, and you have to outsmart them in order to win. This base wasn't that important to cover, from what I can tell. In fact, it looks like our territory has expanded very, very significantly. You can see the ratio of territory control. 54% belongs to the VS, 19% the TR, and 35% the NC. And we have 4 minutes left before this continent is captured. It's an alert that decides when the continent ratio is tabulated, after which the game ends. There was a question about the meditation suite, which is a VR experience that I created to meditate in. Can they see me right there? I don't think they're happy about my car. I think it might, yeah, that's not good. It's coming right for me. Oh man. Now that I've been discovered, I need to get out of here. It's only a matter of time. Yeah. Keen eyes, like I say. The people who are playing PlanetSide actively are most likely very familiar with most of the features of the game. And they can spot the nuances, especially with a vibrantly Christmas paper wrapped vehicle like this. I like the bold colors. I like the style. And it's relatively cold where I am right now, so it kind of reminds me of a sweater. I'm gonna hang out for a second, figure out where the next place to go is. Although I don't think we really have too much of a concern here. Another option, I'm gonna leave this car here. Oh, that's good. Maybe somebody was watching this broadcast because they said they came in peace. I can't really pronounce that name. That's good to know. That person says I've come in peace. And I guess they they might have found me naturally too. But it looks like this continent's about to be wrapped up. So I'm gonna redeploy and then just do a little flyover from the warp gate. Well, that was my plan, at least. Let's try again. A lot of conflict here. Oh no. It's one way to get out of it. Okay. Well, now I can get back to the warp gate now and do the flyover that I was trying to do. Sometimes that's the fastest way to get where you want to go, is to resolve a conflict as quickly as possible. Got 25 seconds. I would say that the more that I try to engage in a war or in a battle, the more conflict I find. And I think that's very true about a lot of things that I've experienced.
Amerish has been brought into the light of Vanu's wisdom.
And that's what happens when the VS wins. The entire continent turns purple. And I guess I can congratulate... Wow, we got a bunch of cert points. Congratulations. Yes. And now, I could still get hurt or attacked or whatever, but none of the bases can be moved in any direction. Now, something that is kind of fun is that I don't have to leave. There's no rule that says I have to leave right now. I don't know how long you can stay on a continent after it's been captured, but you can just kind of be here. Most of the other players will move on to the next destination. They'll seek out whatever continent unlocks next, Indar. And then they'll continue the fight. And the matches take a long time. But they're fun, regardless of how much time they take. I don't think I answered or finished the question about the meditation suite. That is that's a VR. I don't want to call it a game, but I guess it's a game. It's pretty complete. I should really just... I did a bunch of changes. I don't know what happened. Wow. Just a second. There we go. Must have hit a button. Looks like a looks like my friend here. It's just hanging out in the sky. The meditation suite should be completed soon and just distributed. There's a demo up somewhere online, but I should make another video and then put another link up. So that's been a focus for a while. I would say of my time outside of video games, I think the thing I've been doing the most is meditating. Then probably eating, sleeping, and then the various responsibilities that I have in my life. And that continues into the video games I play. Trying to live a well-rounded life and appreciate things, everything, in a relatively peaceful way. It's kind of very, very fun to do. This guy's just hanging out in the sky. I do wish that PlanetSide 2 had more, I guess, non-combat things to do. I think there's a whole world of things that we could work together on. The base building is pretty fantastic, but I guess I mean like temporary research moves. Filling out the biolab, the amp station, with little opportunities to influence the game world in other ways. Not so much because conflict is a terrible experience in video games, but because I think the more opportunities that we present in games, the more people would be able to play them. The more different kinds of people with different interests would be inclined to play games. I think PlanetSide 2 has a lot of opportunity, lore-wise and world-wise. Yeah. I think that, I think I shared everything I wanted to tonight. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I'm sorry I wasn't so attentive to the comments the whole time. It was difficult because I was being attacked or making more dynamic decisions. But it's been a fun time, and I intend to play this game pretty soon. Maybe in a more exciting way, in a more opportune time. There's one last question. Hope or peace of mind? What's more important? And I think that you don't want to fall into a false dichotomy like that. You want to have both of those things. I think that we often try to battle things in our heads because we're constantly thrown into conflict, and we're giving ratings, and we're given grades, and we're told what is right and what is better. And we're constantly comparing things for our own benefit so we can survive and we can make good decisions. But I think that if we present everything like a yes or no or an and not, then we're going to get stuck. We're going to get stuck chasing after comparing ourselves instead of enjoying the fact that we don't have to. Anyway, my name is Gold Vision. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.